بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
I've been quite vocal about being Muslim because I feel like you should be proud of what you believe in and the traditional values that I've been raised on. I don't like to say this in a disrespectful and negative way, but I feel like the way that society's going now, we've come away from a lot of the, say, traditional values that have served us well. Obviously, I'm not saying we should hold on to everything, but especially the ones that have served us well for thousands of years. Why would you let go of them? And I feel like Islam promotes a lot of that. So yeah, I'm just proud of who I am and my religion and my beliefs and my faith, and I feel like football has got its challenges and it's just a way that I always help to send to myself. Football is a tough environment, don't get me wrong, and I'm by no means perfect, do you know what I mean? Like I'm far from perfect, if anything, but what I've not ever been shy of doing is sticking to my faith and my religion and coming back to Allah. So that's something I've always done, regardless of what point I've been at, what club I've been at. Again, like I keep repeating, nobody's perfect. I'm not sitting here saying I'm a saint and that I don't do any harm or that I've not sinned or anything like that, because I think we all have. But like I said, what I pride myself on is, regardless of where I am in my life or where I've got to or what challenges I'm facing, I always come back to Allah and ask for guidance and forgiveness. And especially being in football, it's a tough environment. You know, you're around a lot of distractions, a lot of temptations. So yeah, just learning to detach from that and remembering what's important, definitely. So I feel like the traditional values that I talk about, where we in Islam, the culture that I've grew up in, is the things that are so basic, like loyalty, respect for elders, charity, giving to other people. Those then in turn help me with football. I'm saying these are traditional values that I've been raised on and that my religion promotes. And just like I said, we were just literally talking off camera now, just saying just how peaceful you feel when you walk into a mosque or when you're around Muslim people and as a community and stuff. So I think that's a big part of being Muslim.
اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء.
I feel like my journey and where I've come from and the challenges that I've faced, kind of like growing up, being a Muslim and being from Toxteth and being from Liverpool, like kids can relate to that a lot more. Muslims maybe don't like to be as open about things as such because maybe of what social media will say, or maybe issues or challenges that they face, like growing up, like maybe facing a bit of racism. I've had people on social media sometimes be racist, or like just in face-to-face altercations with people being racist and stuff like that. So when kids need a role model, I want to be that person who's relatable, who's had, like I said, who's similar upbringings, who's, I showed you before, played in the same places that you played in, had the same environment that they've had the same upbringing and they've had, and I've still got a long way to go with that, don't get me wrong, but that's what you're striving to achieve all the time, is being that pillar and that model for people to go to. And I think the off season now at the time, like, where I really try and hone in on that, because obviously I'm injured, so I try and hone in that as much as possible. So when I'm devout, when I'm like closer to Allah, when I'm praying, when I'm doing all I can every day to be as close to Allah as possible, I feel like that's when my life's at its best, and that's when I'm most successful. I had this season, I had my most successful month in Ramadan. I won player of the month. I got a few goals, a few assists that month, and the role that it plays is just, it's kind of a feeling that I don't think I can describe to people who aren't Muslim, because there's times where I pray before a game, and when I'm on that prayer mat and you're just speaking to Allah and you feel like, like kind of like if Allah is with me, just there's nobody on this pitch that can touch me, nobody can harm me, nobody can have the same confidence that I have right now. So I don't know how to describe that to people, because I feel like you really need to be connected with your higher power or God or whatever it is that you believe in. To me, that happens to be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when I pray before a game or when I make dua, that's just the feeling that I get, and I'm like, just know, like, I feel unbreakable on the football pitch. And not just on the football pitch, don't get me wrong, you know, other areas of my life, like when I'm stressful situation or dealing with challenges off the pitch or whatever, that's the feeling that I get from having a connection, a relationship with Allah.
لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك.
Every club I've been at, to be fair, has been really welcoming in terms of my religion, but it's more the things you feel subconscious. So, for example, I've just finished training and I need to, for example, maybe go pray. You know, most clubs don't have anywhere you can go pray, just like a prayer room or obviously a lot of the bigger clubs do now, but the clubs I've been at haven't had that. So I had to make shift of like just a room in a corner, just go get my sajjad and do it there. I think I forget, I have this conversation a lot with people, like, you live in the UK. Obviously I live here now, and I would like to say I'm also British, but at the same time it's not my country, so people aren't aware of sometimes what we need to do. So for example, like Ramadan, you know, you get asked the stupid questions all the time towards, oh, what, even water, like you can't drink water. To be fair now, I enjoy doing it. Like a lot of my teammates will ask me, why'd you do that? Or I find it fun now to just educate people, and like sometimes it's a joke to them, and like I feel not sorry for them, but I just think, you know what, they don't know any better. It's not serious to them, so I can't sit and be angry at these people. Or no, I've not really, to be fair. I've never had problems as such, like with teammates. I'd say everyone's been open and been all right with it, to be honest. I think the challenges that I've faced so far, or biggest challenges, you know, away from the challenges I faced when I was growing up, like around Toxteth, you know, going to school, maybe getting racial abuse sometimes, having altercations and fights with people. I've had that. I think the first real big one was moving away from home to a completely different world, like going to Swansea, which was the first year I really struggled with that. The only thing that helped me gain a bit of peace and be able to deal with those challenges was reconnecting with Allah, because I had a year where I was really just distant from my religion. I stopped, because I had the freedom of being on my own and living on my own. I stopped reading Quran, I stopped listening to things that are good for me, that would help me in the situation I was in the challenge I was in. Only towards the end of my first year at Swansea, where I was fully like at rock bottom mentally, and I was like, right, I need to. That's why I'd done a lot of mental health stuff at the time and started reconnecting with Allah. You know, just everyone has life challenges, like family challenges, like just challenges with my mum and dad as you get older. I feel like everyone deals with those types of challenges, and with Islam, like, we have a duty in the Quran to respect your elders and respect your mum and dad, which is then you're trying to balance that though with growing up and having your own viewpoints and your own opinions and your own kind of morals and values that you live by. So you're challenging your parents. And a big thing that helped me in my first year when I went to Swansea, I had said, which was kind of like a revelation year for me, if you say, like, I had like an epiphany of learning about devotion to Allah and just reconnecting with Allah properly. And a big part of that was like being more spiritual and reflection, journaling, meditation. I know we've had a few conversations about meditation. It's probably one of the biggest parts of my routine. I do that most mornings after prayer. And also I've learned to link them together. So I used to think of meditation or maybe consciousness or spiritual behaviours and Islam as two different things. But when I moved away and dived into it a bit further, like personally, like looked into it, I like reading, or I read a lot more about it. I realised the two are interlinked. You know, you can't have true devotion to Allah or connection without being present and being, having that, you know, consciousness of present moment you're in. So that's what I just got into before, was about just being yourself. Now I'm learning to just be myself. Like, this will go up on social media and people have their opinions, and as long as I'm not saying anything disrespectful or, again, harmful to anyone, I couldn't care less what people think about me because I'm being myself and that's how I want to live my life.
معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري